Hi there. So in the second of these videos, looking at how to start getting a website together in Dreamweaver, we're picking up from where we left off last time. So if you remember, we got to the stage in last time where we'd set up a site, as we can see here. Within there, we have an images folder, which is where all the images are going to go, and realistically, all your other assets. In other words, all the bits that you're going to use on the website are going to go in there as well. And then we set up one page. So at the moment we've got one page. You may have some other pages that you've set up, that's fine. But this one page we've set up is the most important page. That's the home page, which is index.html. So I'll just click on here, and just before we carry on, I just want to say that my mouse is a little bit lively, so we may see some mistakes, and I'll do Control Z and I'll explain them, but just to warn you that. So I've opened up this folder images. Within there, I've actually got a few images in there, but the one I'm really concerned about, and you can have the same image or the equivalent of, is this footer test PNG and this restaurant text logo PNG, and also some test text. This footer is going to, as it says, be used in a footer that we're going to create. The logo is going to be used in a header we're going to create, and the test text is going to be used in the body of the website. All the rest are just all the other original images, the actual Illustrator file that I used, and so on and so forth. So don't really worry about them. Okay, so I've purposely put them in the images folder to carry on with the way you should be housekeeping, and that's what you should do. So don't have things in that are images or assets in the main body of your site. That's where the pages should go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set up the actual page. So this particular page, index.html, I'm going to actually set this page up with a header, a body, and a footer, and then I'm going to put things into them to show that they work. So I'm going to do this down in HTML because despite the fact that Dreamweaver can do this elsewhere, I do think it's important for you not to be scared to use the HTML, and indeed be able to read the HTML. You don't have to be able to code in HTML. That's not what the skill is about here. It's just being able to read and understand what's going on. That's going to enable you to fix errors quicker and enable you to actually go, well, what's really going on here when there's not necessarily errors, but things that are not quite looking the way you want them to look, or you want to try something out. Okay, so down here in head, if you look at this bit head here, that's just the bit that's not really relevant for your website, or for your page, should I say. There's nothing showing here. That testing a website is the title, and that tells you what keyboard using and all that kind of thing. It's the body that's important. So we're messing about with the body here. We're putting stuff in the body. So in here, I'm going to actually put in, as I said, a header, a body, and a footer. Now, I said I was going to do it purely in HTML. I actually lied a bit. I'm going to use a bit of the Dreamweaver here. So I'm going to use insert here. So I've clicked over from files into insert here. And we started off with body in the body here. I'm going to insert, for a start, I'm going to insert the header, which is this bit here. So a header, and it says, where do you want to insert it? At the insertion point, after body, just leave it as an insertion point, and it'll go there. Okay, so immediately it's created a header within the body, and if you look up here, the header looks like this. It's stuck some text in it. Okay, I'm clicking to the end of that header, and I'm going to go main, which is the main part of the website. Okay, the main content, the bit that's going to change all the time from page to page. And then lastly, clicking to the end of main, I'm going to stick in footer at the insertion point as well. So we've now got three areas. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of that text out at the top, one at a time. I'm going to insert an image into here. And remember, we have those images. It's gone straight to my images folder within my site. If it hasn't done that, you need to make sure it does for you. I'm going to choose this restaurant test logo. I'm going to stick that in there. I'm then going to do the footer next. Again, highlight that and delete that text out within the HTML. And I'm going to go insert image in here. And for this one, I'm going to do the footer test. Okay, so if you look, it's actually wrote the code for it. Image source equals width, alt. There's no alt in it, which we'll get to later on, but don't worry about it. And then in this bit here, I'm actually going to stick the text that I've got in that notepad file that you saw within that folder. So I'll bring up that folder again in my test website, images. I'll open that notepad file. Control A, edit copy, or Control C, get rid of that. Come to this main bit here and paste it. Okay, so there's some text that's in it. Don't worry about what the text says. It's meant to say what's called gobbledygook to you, or is it Latin? I don't know. I've never studied Latin. Okay, but the point is there's some text in here. So now when we go Control S to save that actual page within that site, and then we can come into our actual site here and double click on it, it's going to open up that page for us like this. So we can see we've got a header in here, we can see we've got the body there, and we can see we've got the footer down here. And each of them are being pushed out by the size of whatever the particular asset is that's being put in there. So this is a very plain website. There's no style sheets, there's nothing going on. They haven't colored any backgrounds, they haven't done any of that. It's just a block of text to show where the body is, and some images to show where the header and the footer is. So that should help you set up the structure of the website. So you've got a basic structure like that, and that ends this video. Cheers.